Well, we've got a lot of upset people out there tonight. Some blame the weathermen, some the roads department, but the loudest complaints seem to be directed at the schools for creating today's traffic nightmare. Our own James Mond's been trying to get some answers today from school officials. James, tell us what you've been finding out.
Yes, John, it's been a very chaotic and frustrating day for parents. We tried to speak with the superintendent of schools, Rick Smith. We phoned the office about 3 times. We were told he wasn't available. We did manage to get through to Donna Horn from District 7, and this is what she had to say from her home earlier today.
Hindsight is 20/20, and it's I don't know what to say, James. It's just a very serious situation, and I think that we might have to reevaluate the procedure in the future. In fact, I was just on the phone with Mike Abbott about that we probably have to reevaluate the policy for school closings and maybe change it completely.
Was incredibly grateful to the teachers. She said that they did a very, very good job today, and she was almost apologetic. She really was concerned for the parents out there who were trying to reach out to her. And this is another soundbite that we grabbed with her earlier today, and she really was concerned.
It's kind of like what I would call a white tornado, where you don't know what a tornado is going to do until it hits. And this storm kind of took meteorologists by surprise, as well as the superintendent and the school system. So I know it's been a real inconvenience for people, and I'm living up here on a hill monitoring my neighbors that are not able to get home.
Now, parents turned to social media to vent their frustration. They came to our Facebook, they went to the Twitter sphere, and they just really got the comments out there. Some of them, unfortunately, are a little bit harsh. As you can see, they're venting a lot of frustration at Superintendent Rick Smith. One gentleman here, David White, said, "Bet hiding out because so many angry parents." A lot of folks were talking about why weren't they aware. As you can see, Andrea Christina saying on live radar this morning, and folks even targeting Smith directly, saying, "Shame on you, Mr. Smith. My son's bus got stuck. It said it'd be 3 hours before someone got there to help him, and thankfully with the help of neighbours." It was just a really awkward situation. I spoke with Donna a little bit more about could they have prevented this, what could they do to change it, and she said that they really do need to assess warning signs. And they really do need to sit down and just think, how are we going to get these kids out once we get them in the first place, especially when the snow is still coming down.
And you know, one of the things, James, is a lot of the schools, the parents couldn't get there in time, or if they tried to, they got stuck in traffic, got in accidents, and you had a lot of kids sitting in schools for hours after they were supposed to be released because people just physically couldn't get there. Now, it may seem like we're kind of harshing on the school officials here, but I do know that there were a lot of parents. At my kid's school, I waited for 40 minutes outside the school because they couldn't get a couple of cars up a little hill. And that happened to a lot of folks where they just couldn't physically get there. So maybe getting parents out there in the middle of the worst of the weather may not be the brightest idea if you kind of look at it from a hindsight's 2020 perspective.
I think so. I think you might actually cause more inconvenience to the folks, especially the ones who are trying to clear the roads up and to get grit down there. We had a number of calls from Sally Daisy and up in Ray County, and there was folks who were genuinely very concerned. They were concerned for their children's well-being, whether they'd have food supplies, how long they were going to be in these classrooms. And it just goes to show that, at times like this, it's children and the elderly who are most vulnerable.
All right, James, thank you much for the report. And of course, we'll be following up on this as we hear more information, and we'll be right back with more from some viewer snow pictures to show you right here on Prime News.